let's rank the teams in the NFC West. Well, why don't you rank the teams in the NFC West? I'm curious to see what you think.
So for me, this is actually really hard to do because when you asked me this before the draft, you asked me about a month and a half ago, and I had the 49ers, I think, third in the division.
Yeah, me too.
But we had such a good draft, and Seattle and the Rams had an absolutely horrible draft. Like, I honestly think I just did the NFC draft grades for my last show. I'm pretty sure that I had Seattle ranked last. I think I gave them.
Can you tell the viewers real quick what you didn't like about those two drafts?
Okay, so for me, again, the players aren't horrible for Seattle, but they reached for every single one of those guys. Trey Brown was a reach. Their receiver they took was an absolute reach. And they only had 3 picks. The guys that they wanted, they could have gotten later. And if they would have traded back a few spots and still gotten those players, they could have picked up more capital. To me, it seemed like it was rushed, like they weren't prepared. And I don't know if it was the Russell Wilson situation.
Your opinion?
I really didn't.
Those guys going to make an impact next year? Anyone?
Yeah, maybe Trey Brown is a special teamer just because he's extremely fast. But I don't know. I don't. I saw that
Arizona got Rondale Moore. I like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely. That was it.
So Arizona did okay, but or did they, in your opinion?
I thought Arizona. I thought actually Arizona did well, and they took the linebacker out of Tulsa, who I liked a ton. So I think that was a great pick. But as far as the Rams, you look at them again. They took 2 receivers. They have an offensive line that is
Tutu Atwell, who weighs 154 pounds.
Dude.
2
receivers. No offensive linemen. And I don't know, but I'm pretty sure you have a left tackle that's like 38 years old. Why are you taking no offensive linemen?
Stafford gets hurt every year. He may not miss times, but he's always got a broken rib or a messed up shoulder or whatever. Yeah.
So I just didn't like what they did at all. And for me, that has to knock them down a peg. So I look at it. I still feel like we have the work for just 1 year. You know, I love Trey Lance, but for just this 1 year, we have the worst quarterback in the division. Okay. So whether that's Jimmy or that's a rookie Trey Lance. But when I look at the rest of the positions, defensive line, I feel like we have the best defensive line top to bottom. Linebacker, I feel like we have the best linebacking core top to bottom. Secondary, I can argue we have the best secondary top to bottom. Then we go to offense. Offensive line, I think we have the best offensive line.
Hold on.
Go ahead. What's up?
Hold on. The Rams have Jalen Ramsey. So
they have the best player.
And that helps.
That does help. But they also lost a lot of depth. They lost their other starting corner and they lost a starting safety in the offseason.
That's true.
They didn't do a lot to replace
They lost John Johnson?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. And then did the Seahawks lost Griffin, right?
They lost Griffin and replaced him with Witherspoon. So
I mean, as long as Jason Verrett is healthy.
And think about it. I mean, Tart and Ward, Ward, Verrett, Akello. I mean, not Akello, but K'Wan Williams. Like top to bottom, we have the best secondary out of all those teams, in my opinion.
That's true.
Then we go to offensive line. I think we have the best offensive line in the division. I feel like we have the best passing weapons or receiving weapons in the division. When you add in Kittle, Debo, Ayuk, nobody has a tight end like we do.
A lot of bad offensive lines in this division.
There is a lot of bad offensive lines.
I mean, Seattle's is worse than the Niners. And
is there a good running back in the division?
Cam Akers was. I thought he was. Cam Akers was pretty good, but I mean, James Conner,
not good. Carson's okay.
Carson's taken. I feel like he's taken so many hits.
Yeah.
Man. It just obviously comes down to the Niners quarterback, but they're gonna have the best run game in the division.
Yep.
They have the best weapons in the division.
I feel like they do. I mean, obviously Seattle has Lockett and Metcalf. Okay. And Arizona has Hopkins and AJ Green.
They don't have a tight end.
None of them have a real solid tight end. We have George Kittle. Like, it doesn't get much better than Kittle. And Dwelly. Don't forget about Dwelly. Yeah, we have Juszczyk.
Let's go.
We have Ayuk. We have Debo. Like, I'm just saying, top to bottom, at all the position groups, I feel like we're arguably the best. And if we're not the best, we're second best.
I mean, look at how competitive this team was last year with CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. No offense to either quarterback. I mean, CJ Beathard won. He beat Arizona. Okay, and he was competitive against Seattle. Mullins beat the Rams.
Yep.
I mean, who's to say this Jeremy Price's order isn't right there? I mean, I don't know if the Seahawks are going to fall all the way back. As long as they have Russell Wilson, they're good for 10 wins.
Yeah.
But who's to say the Niners aren't going to get 13 or 12 or 11?
Here's my thing. So I like where his head's at. For me, everybody's really high on the Rams. I think the Rams are much worse off than what a lot of people think.
Speak on it.
So the Rams, to me, lost Ebukam.
Yep.
They lost. Who did they trade
Bunch
to?
Of coaches.
Bunch of coaches.
Yep.
They lost. Who did they lose to the Lions? I can't remember. There's so many names going through my head right now with the draft and everything. But they lost a big player to the Lions.
Who's off their defense, right?
Everybody. All the depth off their defense is gone. They're a 17-game season, one injury away from being absolutely decimated on defense. Right. Absolutely decimated. They have no depth at the O-line positions. I think they are in a world of hurt because injuries happen. They've been one of the luckier teams when it comes to injury. I think that luck ends this year, and it's going to be an issue for them.
So basically, Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, Jalen Ramsey, that's it. That's the whole defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Okay, I hear you. They got
no depth. So they've mismanaged their money now for going back to the Cooks trade.
Jared Goff, right?
They're still exactly. So I think the Rams are the worst team in this division when it's all said and done. Now, that said, 4 teams can make the playoffs.
See it.
4 teams can absolutely make the playoffs because you have 7 teams that make it now. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happens. But as far as this division goes, I think the Rams are the worst off. And Stafford, as much as I didn't like Fields because he held the ball, Stafford has the same issue. He holds the ball for a really, really long time. Go look at any game he's ever had. Go look at every season. He has plenty of pocket time, and he gets a ton of sacks because he likes big plays. And guess what? The Rams like to draw up big plays. I think that can be a disaster in the making. And with these D-lines in this division, Stafford could get banged up real quick.
And the reason people don't take the Cardinals that seriously is because of Cliff Kingsbury. But we don't really know that much about him. And that team, I mean, if A.J. Green plays like he's still in his prime and J.J. Watt has one more good year, that team's loaded. We're not really talking about that. The reason they're loaded is because they don't spend any money on quarterbacks.
Yeah, absolutely.